Hey there, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Meadowbrook Kids. Today, our ponder point is God is faithful. All right, we're going to learn about how God is faithful this week because God shows up always for us. He helps us out no matter what. Now, before we get into that, let's go over our Connect question. Our Connect question is this: how has God been faithful to you? All right, how has God been faithful to you? All right, take a moment to answer this question. All right, well, if you haven't got an answer, I want to share my answer with you. All right, God has been faithful to me in the way that He's been providing. All right, we have Kids Church live here, and we have so many kids that are coming on Sunday mornings, right? We have 20 to 30 kids that are coming just in elementary service, and we'd love to see you guys here too. All right, God's faithful. God has provided families. He's provided for us, and I'm so glad that God has been faithful for me and our church. Now let's go over our memory verse. You guys ready? Here we go. Our memory verse is this: I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loves me and gave Himself for me. Galatians 2:20. All right, I hope you guys have been practicing. That's our third week doing this verse. We got 2 more weeks for you guys to memorize. I know it's a long one, but I know you can do it. All right, we make sure we're hiding God's word in our hearts. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and join our screen game, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of our lesson. I missed you guys, and I hope to see you here at church soon. Bye.
One of my favorite holidays is New Year's Eve. I love being able to stay up late, eat some really good snacks, and to experience that feeling of expectation, hope, and excitement for something new. New Year's Eve is a time to celebrate how God was faithful in one year and will meet you in the next. And in those last seconds before the clock strikes 12, you hold on to the gratitude for what's behind you and the anticipation for what's ahead. Then, the moment we've all been waiting for. The clock strikes 12. A roaring cheer fills the room. People shouting, "Happy New Year!" throwing confetti, and my personal favorite, blowing a party horn. Did you know that in Israel's history, they had a celebration to mark the beginning of a new year? This festival was called the Feast of Trumpets. This was a giant celebration of God's faithfulness. The Feast of Trumpets marked the beginning of a new year and the end of a harvest season. It was a yearly feast to remind Israel that God had not forsaken them, that God had kept his covenant to them, that God had led them, and that God had provided for them and forgiven their sins. This is the faithfulness of God, that God always does what he says he will do. And so every year on this day of the Feast of Trumpets, the priests and leaders would gather together to worship and honor the Lord. And the leaders would blow their trumpets loud in celebration. Kind of something like that. Even though our New Year's Eve celebrations have been over for months now, we can still celebrate the faithfulness of God every day. The faithfulness of God means that he keeps his promises, that his character never changes, and that he always does what he says he will do. So I want to ask you, how has God been faithful to you? One way that he's been faithful to me this past year is that he has provided friends so that I am never alone. My brothers and sister live far away from me, and so do my mom and dad. It may seem like a lonely place to live when I don't have family close by, but God has always been faithful to give me friends. I have friends that love Jesus just like I do and serve him with their whole heart. I can pray with these friends anytime I have a need. They encourage me and show Jesus' love to me by giving me a kind note, an unexpected gift, or just a simple hug. And on top of all of that, I can still video chat with my mom and dad anytime I miss them. Since I was little, God has always been faithful to provide friends that point me closer to him. I know that I am never alone. This is his promise to me that he intends to keep. God is faithful, and to that I thank God and I celebrate him in a big way.